Greetings, peace sovereigns. I am not going to be on here very long, but I just wanted to jump on in and greet everyone. Part of me, part of the reason why I'm going live today is, of course, it's Thursday, so midday motivation. Why not? So I wanted to just say peace to everyone, those of you who are joining the space, whether you're sovereign or you're just discovering Sovereign Eats. Welcome to our Sovereign Eats experience. Greetings, Naya. We're back, Naya. Thank you for joining and being in this space. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to share, new updates for those of you who do follow my work and you follow Sovereign Eats. We have a few interesting things happening with with our podcast. Our last podcast just went live yesterday. New content, of course, giving you lots and lots of information surrounding superfoods and how to use them and how I use them to aid my transition into a plant-based diet. So that is something that I really wanted to share. And I have I found myself constantly thinking about what and how to share tons of valuable information because I want your success. I want you to be just as successful as I have been when it comes to transitioning to raw food or transitioning to plant based. So check out that last episode. And I also wanted to share that I have a new episode coming up, and a lot of our episodes will include in the future interviews and guests who are experts and have expertise in their niche area. Um, and I felt that would be very valuable to all of us. Greetings, Ima Precious, peace and welcome. Greetings, thank you for taking the time out in the day, um, just to link up and connect. Yes, so one of the things that I really want to do is to continue to share valuable information, but to tap in to others and their value and actually use that and share it with my community and those who are my tribe, so to speak, or those who follow Sovereign Eats. So what I do want you all to do is to come back after this live and check out the description. I will include the one of the upcoming guests on our next podcast. We will be diving into a good deep conversation around type 2 diabetes. And I chose and selected that topic because several of you have indicated that you have family members or there are others who are around you who are battling with type 2, right? So this woman, she actually works with women and supports them through that process so that way they can utilize food and health management and nutrition management to support them, um, as opposed to using certain prescription drugs. And even in our podcast, we're going to explore a little bit about that. So that's one of our upcoming podcasts for the month of May, because we're kicking off May. May is, uh, I think May 9th is Mother's Day, but every day should be a dedication rolling off your lips to mama. So, but we'll explore some more of that as the months go by. We'll have much more guests coming on, and you can find me as well on a couple other podcasts. And please, stay connected. Shalom, Sister Kashia. Stay connected with us on our Instagram because I will share a lot of those notices through that platform. But just to quickly share, I really wanted to touch on a few things. You know, these midday motivations are going to turn out to be little bits of opinionated conversation, right? So two things, right? Before I jump off, two things. So I was actually looking at a live someone had a live, and they were showing or showcasing someone preparing food. It's these they're meat eaters, but what fascinates me a lot is paying attention to how people food prep, what they use to food prep, right? What particular bags or containers, pots. What I like to pay attention to that. Are they using wood? Are they using plastic? What are some of the items that they were using? Anyway, this person was baking, right? I won't even say what she was baking. What she was baking was unclean, but she was baking it anyway. And you're probably saying, why were you watching that? Again, I am extremely fascinated with the way people do things, especially when it comes to food, because I can actually break down where the problems are, especially if we're women and there are some persistent issues. I can tell you exactly what you're doing that could be causing those issues. So, um, she went through the process of cleaning and seasoning and, putting everything together and pulled out a huge, beautiful pot, right? I think it's a clay, big, heavy stoneware pot. And I was like, yes, that's like the best. That's the best cookware that you can actually pull out, right? It's not toxic. It's great. I actually think it makes the food taste sweeter, right? But as I looked at her, and I wasn't thinking that what she was preparing was sweet. Again, I'm always just like, I'm super interested in micro managing what people do in their kitchen. Sorry, I'm just gonna be opinionated about that today. When she After seasoning, she decided to pour everything in the pot. But prior to pouring everything in the pot, she lined the pot with a bag, a plastic bag. Shalom and peace. Welcome, Brother Antonio. Peace to everyone in the chat. He says, thank you for greeting everyone. Peace, Aquia. Greetings, 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 greetings. Um, yeah, so she lined the pot with a bag. And of course, the first thing I'm thinking is, why is there a shower cap inside of the pot? Who puts what why? But why in the kitchen? I couldn't figure it out. But I never knew that oven bags existed. I had a fit and I never make comments in chats, but I had to like literally go down the list of known carcinogens that leach from the plastics that people use into the food. The thing is, she was using these. All right, I wouldn't get in trouble. I kind of removed the label. They're called oven bags, and I said to myself, okay, wow, let me see what are these things? What are oven bags? Oven bags are literally plastic bags that are supposedly FDA approved, and apparently they say they've been processed to the point it's plastic. Okay, just think about that and think about plastic. I don't care what plastic it is. If heat hits plastic, it changes its composition. It begins to leach all manner of things into the food. That's it for me. I don't want to hear about how well you've processed it so it doesn't. I don't want to hear that because it doesn't work. It doesn't work in my brain. I can't figure that part out. So I totally lost it. I want to say, if you all have these things in your home, please throw them out. Don't use them. Don't use them, because no matter how plastic is processed, the truth is, um, there are toxins that have been known to leach from these same types of bags into food. They've tested it, right? So many of us, right? Not everyone, but many do not decide to take the bag, take the idea of a plastic bag, question it, and then go, look to see, well, why is it an approved item, right? If they already tell you water sitting in plastic bottles are no good, why then create a plastic liner for the food? And it's not to cover it, right? Because she could cover it with the stoneware pot. She did not. And maybe it does help to cook the food a certain way, but I can't help to think about the amount of plastics that are leaching into, or toxins that are leaching, and chemicals that leach into whatever it is that she prepared. So that was my story. I went over the cliff with that one. I couldn't help it. I said I had to literally buy one of these just to show you that you should not purchase these and use them. And if you see anyone using them, um, educate them about it. Greetings, Josiah. Peace and welcome. Thank you for joining us in this space. I hope you rested well too, Josiah. So, Kuya says FDA approved means nothing to me. FDA doesn't approve doesn't mean healthy. Yes, this is true, but I don't think some people aren't at the point where they question that. Everyone's questioning the vaccine, right? Everyone's questioning other things too, but I don't know how many people are literally questioning the everyday items that we utilize that someone endorses and says it's okay, but we don't really question it. We see it says FDA approved, and it makes sense. Hey, just line it, throw the food in there, and then when it's done, you take it out and you don't have to scrub off all the grease. And well, don't eat that stuff in the first place, and you won't have all that grease to scrub off. How about that? Right? How about that? But before I close, because I really actually wanted to talk about GMO foods today, and I didn't get to go into detail because I got sidetracked with these cooking in plastic bags. You understand what I'm saying? Cooking in plastic bags. You know, there is, so I visited, it's interesting because depending on the countries that we visit to, you realize that there are people lean heavily on plastic and the use of plastic for storage. We all do. But I look at the difference with, the way people use use plastics for storage, right? I noticed that there are certain countries that I've visited, and they will pour hot piping food into all types of manner of plastic, low grade quality plastic, all types of plastic, and without realizing that that can have an adverse effect on you. Women, I do know some women who have womb issues, and I look at them pouring hot food into plastics, and I have to say to myself, there has to be, and eventually I'll figure out how to do that, but there has to be a way to bring some level of knowledge and edification to them, because the truth is they don't have access to anything else. They're using what's there. But that's in, I'm talking about other countries where that knowledge may not be widespread. But in a country like this, where it's widespread, that just blew me away. And there were hundreds of people on in the comments saying, "Whoa, yes, beautiful, that looks good." I'm like, a pot full of plastic toxins looks good to you. Very good, very nice. Very nice. Kashia says, yeah, hard pass on the vax. Shortcuts are deadly cuts. I like that quote. Shortcuts are deadly cuts. But before I go, I do want to just share a couple of things in terms of like GMO foods. And I think we all know like the regular culprits, but the truth is more than 90% of corn, and I'm like totally switching topics right now, but to a certain degree, it's connected because many of us still utilize soybeans and corn and things like that. It's hidden in a lot of the foods that we consume. And I'm not saying that I am at the place where I've completely liberated um, my lifestyle, my dietary lifestyle. I don't like to say diet, but my plant-based lifestyle. I haven't liberated it from all sorts of soys and things like that, because there sometimes it's hidden in there and you don't even realize it. So I think it's important to think about the large percentage of what is GMO in this country, and to when we consider that, consider our purchasing habits and what things and foods we purchase. Right? I really think that's important. 90% of all cotton, corn, and soybeans planted in the US are genetically modified. I knew that the percentage was high, but I did not realize that the percentage was that high. And for those of you who are planters, I know Sister Jazira, who's on Instagram, is a planter. It is easy. It's pretty easy to find heirloom farms or farms that actually focus on their niche area, which is to identify and produce heirloom seeds, so that they can protect those seeds from being, like, infiltrated. So it's really important to think about, if you do have land and you have the opportunity to plant, make sure that you're finding heirloom seeds. You're finding companies. There are tons of them all over, all of the social media platforms, because, and I know it can be difficult, right? Because I remember looking at a documentary that kind of shared, even though there are farmers who are farming and they're using organic seeds, or they're not utilizing GMO seeds, the problem becomes pollination, right? Pollination becomes a problem because there's cross pollination that happens, and then you can't control that. No farmer can control that. All right. So, those are things to think about if you're a person who plants or gardens, or farms, but also as a consumer, pay attention to those items and those foods that can be um, most detrimental because they are GMO. I also wanted to share one other thing. If for those of you who are interested, so I've been following up with this food revolution. It's called the Food Revolution Summit, and if you type it in right now, you can probably find the link and join in. Lots of deep information, lots of research around food and health, gut, brain, womb, muscle tissue, and how to balance a plant-based diet as well, and just focus on food, but also maintaining a strong mind, maintaining fit bodies, maintaining a solid gut, and great digestive system. So for those of you who are interested, I know those are the things that I am interested in, and I gain a lot of knowledge from it, and I learn a lot about myself and the food around me. So feel free, if you can place the question in the comments. If you want me to share, I'll share the link in there. You just have to, in the comments section of this video, ask, and I'll definitely post the link in there for you, so that you can sign up, and catch the rest of it, because I think it's for 2 weeks. So they're speakers every day. So feel free to jump on. And with that, I am going to say peace to you all, and I will see you all for a Sovereign Sunday dialogue and conversation. I know I was all over the place today, but I just felt like speaking my mind on more than one thing. Peace, you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope I have offered some motivation to you. See you all on Sunday. Peace.